So should you buy a Mac from the Apple Refurbished store, just like this one? I say yes, and I'm going to show you why. All right, welcome back to the channel. So if you follow Mac computers, Apple computers, you'll know that they have the main website, apple.com. They very rarely, if ever, I don't think they ever do, have sales on that website, but you can go off to sites like Best Buy or B&H, and you can find sometimes cheaper pricing there for new systems, so you can always check those out. But Apple rarely has it, so I think they use the refurbished Apple products. You just type in refurbished Apple, go to their official store. I think they actually use that for kind of like their sales. They don't want to give a sale, but they'll give you the refurbished units for cheaper. Generally on the website, the refurbished store, you get about 15% off of Macs like this one, about 15%. I think that's about the average of what they usually stick to. And then on iPads and iPhones, you can get up to 15 to about 33%, which is a lot more of a savings. So one thing they know too is not everyone can get Apple Refurbished from their official store. So as we're going through the video, just keep that in mind. I think India is one of them where you can't actually purchase them. So in this video, I'm going to show you a lot about this. I'm going to show you, what exactly do you get? The unboxing, the experience. Is it new? Is it refurbished? How close to new is it? And then some pros and cons and stuff of getting it from Apple Refurbished. I got one sitting right here. I just got it. So let's talk about it. And I'm going to show you the quality of the unit you get from the Apple Refurbished store. All right, let's start off by saying when you buy Apple Refurbished stuff from the official Apple Refurbished store, you get the same warranty, a 1-year warranty. You can also do Apple Care. They also support the products really well. So if you have an issue right away, you can send it right back or go right back to where you got it, which we'll get into in a second. So that's one huge positive here. Just note that the computer you want to buy from Apple Refurbished is not always there, but that's a good thing and a bad thing because they keep mixing them up. So I went in there and one day they didn't have exactly what I wanted. The next day they kind of did. I bought one, and then the next day they had a ton of them. So let's just go to my screen really quickly. I'm just going to go through and show you some examples of what they have currently. It's amazing. They have a ton of systems right now, but I mean, this is not always the case. So let's take a look over here. All right, if you look at my screen, you can see here as I scroll down, I'm going to just talk about the iMacs because I have one sitting here. But you can see there's a bunch in here. They start at $10.99, only $10.99, which is a great deal. It's usually $12.99. But as I scroll down, you're going to see they have a ton in here, a ton of different colors. And as I keep going up, in cost, you're going to get the other colors like yellow, pink. So you're going to get a lot of different choices here. But again, you check one day it's there, you check the next day it's not. So you got to jump on things if it's available. You can't wait. If you want it, be ready to buy when you're going to Apple Refurbished because it could be gone the next day. And they have a lot of different configurations, but they don't come every day. You may have to wait a while. All right, so let's talk about my experience. So what I did is I went on that site, I purchased it. 3 to 4 days later, they shipped it right out to an Apple store next to me over here. So the experience right off the bat is pretty good. So you buy it, you can get it much quicker. I just did a video, check out my last video. It talks about how quick I actually got it. It talks about the refurbished store too. So check that video out. But this video, I'm gonna show you just what's the overall experience. All I did is I walked into the Apple store, I had it sent there, I scanned my phone, basically, just scanned it right away. They told me to go to the back, I went to the back. 2 minutes later, someone walked out of a white door, gave me a computer, and said, "You're gone." So I left, nobody even stopped me, walked right out, right to my car, and I had the Apple computer. So it literally took 5 minutes from walking in the store to get the system and then back out. So that part was great. When I saw the box, though, I was a little concerned because it's not the same box. I wasn't concerned, but it did have a gray strap, and I actually ordered a blue one. So let me just explain really quickly, what did I get here? Number one, I got this blue one right here, and this is the 24-inch iMac. I got the base model, and there's a couple of reasons for why I did the base model, but number one really is because it was $10.99 for the base, but it's only 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of space. At the time, I probably would have upgraded to 16 gigs, but they didn't have those available. The day after I bought this, they all came on, and I just didn't change my order. I'm going to be using this primarily for my channel, like right here. I have an editing machine over there anyway, so I don't need this for editing, and I plan on selling this, and the base model is a good one to sell. So pro tip though here also, keep your box pristine, and I'll show you the box in a second, but the box, keep it in pristine condition. When you sell this, it's known that you'll get about 10% more on selling something like even on eBay. If you have it packaged in the original box and everything looks clean, people think you took a lot of care of the unit and they'll actually purchase it. They'll buy it, they'll spend a little bit more money if they see that it's in the original box and everything's in really good condition there, because then you probably took care of the computer too. All right, so perfect condition, I went and got it. You can have it shipped to your house too. I just didn't know if I trusted that just sitting outside. It's really humid here. although it doesn't probably matter. So I went and got it. I have an Apple store really close. If you don't, you can ship it in a couple days to you as well. So keep that in mind. So the box in general sitting behind me, you can probably see it back here maybe a little bit. And I'll show close-ups as I'm talking here just to kind of let everyone know what's going on. You'll see all these pictures and everything. So the box in Apple Refurbished is a big white box. It says Apple Certified Refurbished. You can see it right here. And the main difference is, and this is what got me a little concerned, is that it had a gray strap that wasn't matched to my iMac. It doesn't have the iMac's picture on it either. It's all just white like this. That's the main difference with the box. Now, the box though is the same quality. You open it up, you can see here, and it has the same origami type configuration where you move the sides out and the thing's sitting there ready to just open up and take out. So that's very straightforward. All the peripherals and all like the mice and keyboards too come perfectly. You can see them here. They're all perfectly, just like a brand new one. They were also all wrapped really well, and in further inspection I took off, they're either wrapped in paper, plastic, all the peripherals, same with the computer. And I also noticed that, all the peripherals they look brand new to me. Now there's one thing that maybe said it wasn't. So I took all the paper off. I looked at them feverishly to see if everything was like almost new, just to kind of report to you guys. And I saw like one little teeny black mark on the keyboard, but I was able to just take a microfiber and get that off. So that was perfect. So cables look perfect. They look brand new to me. I'm not sure if they are, but they do look brand new. So then I went on to the iMac itself, and everyone says, oh, it feels lighter than it is. And it is. The base metal especially, maybe it's got a teeny less RAM and there one less chip, one less fan actually. So anyways, it's really light. I picked it up, put it down, and I inspected it. Before I turned it on, there was the only kind of hiccup in this whole experience for me, as you see pictures up close, is everything looked clean. So first of all, the back was very clean. It looked really nice. No scratches, nothing. I even inspected the ports. The ports are really nice in here. And since I have a blue unit, if someone's using it a lot, you'll see kind of scuff marks or where they're putting in plugs. Nothing. It was like almost brand new. No scratches on that. So I looked at the screen before I turned it on. I had one concern. I had to peel the paper off, and you can see there, they have some kind of protective paper on it. I did that. I looked at it, and there was almost like, it wasn't watermarks, but it was these little circles, and I wasn't sure what it was, and I was a little concerned. I was like, what in the world? I took a microfiber cloth and just went like this, and they came off. So I don't know if it was because of the adhesive on this little thing you take off, or if it was something from before, hopefully not. But long story short, now it's perfectly black when it's not shut on, when it's not on, and it's just, there was no scratches, nothing. So perfect screen. Then I went ahead, and what they ship to you it's a basic new one. You plug it in, and the screen comes up, and you have to log in just like it's a new Mac. And that's really it. Then what I had to do is some quick updates on it as well. You have to go ahead and update it, only because they didn't come out with it was the newest OS, but it just needed those security updates, especially with some of the issues going on now. So I did that, and the screen's super bright. Obviously there's no blemishes or there's no light spots on the screen. I looked it over really well. So from what I can tell, it might be a new unit. It may not be. We just don't know. So all in all, that's kind of what I wanted to say, is it's so hard to tell on mine that it's one of those things where I can't tell if it's new or not. The screen had those little T marks, which I've never seen in a new Apple product, but again, they came right off. So at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you there. It looks almost brand new to me. All right, so as I show you the close-ups of this, you can see that it's very difficult. The only experience difference you're going to get is the box, really, and the box is going to look a little different. But it's packaged the same kind of thick material on the box, same peel you peel off to actually get into the box. So that experience is the same. May not be the right color strap or something, but all the peripherals are the same color. You get the blue keyboard and you get the blue mouse that I'm probably not going to use and sell, but you get everything you want here, and it's very, very good experience overall. One thing though, I would think everything would be new. Maybe they just do this to get rid of overstock with some of their products, or try to give a sale without saying it's a sale. Maybe they just put new units in there. But there was one channel that I went to. It's a big YouTuber. I'm not even going to get into who it was, but they actually did a gold, I think it was a MacBook Air, and it was in demo mode when it came to them. So they had that one hiccup. They've never had a hiccup before. I've ordered a couple things through here as well, and I've never had a hiccup. That was the one hiccup where the OS was in demo mode. They had to call Apple. Apple just sent them they said it doesn't happen that often. He did a query of 100 people, and I think one or two had problems. So the question is this. When you buy something new from Apple, I bet you there's a 1 or 2% failure rate. I bet you there is. So when you buy it refurbished, even though there's a couple people that had issues with it, I bet you that's about close to the same failure rate as buying new. You just don't know. So when you look at these systems, that could be the possibility where, it might be good, might not be good, but if the failure rate's the same, what are you going to do? It's the same thing, so don't worry about it. It's just something that you're going to get for a little bit cheaper. And if you're willing to take the risk, you can always send it back if it doesn't work out. So overall, my experience was a 95 out of 100. That little screen thing and the keyboard had a teeny mark, which they both came off. It was perfectly fine. Now everything looks brand new. And so who is this good for? This is good for people. So let me just explain this. If you can find the unit at Best Buy or B&H for cheaper and you don't want to buy the full price Apple from the Apple main website, then go ahead and buy them from Best Buy because you're going to get a new unit, you're going to get the same warranty, and it's going to be good. But if you want to save this 15% and even more on other stuff like the iPads and the iPhones, try the refurbished store. The advantages there is you're going to get them right away because they have them in stock. You're going to go right in. If you see one that you want, the right configuration. Again, Best Buy and those type of places usually don't carry like the 16 gigabyte RAM ones. They only carry like the base models. And in my case, they weren't even available. I have a bunch of Best Buy gift certificates and I couldn't even find the one I wanted. So I went to the Apple refurb store, wanted to spend a little bit less. I wanted to use my gift certificates. I couldn't, but I did find it for a couple $100 cheaper in the configuration I wanted, the base model. At the time, they didn't even have the base model at Best Buy. Now they just came out with them. So, but if you want 16 gigs of RAM and 500 and something, look for them. The disadvantage, though, is going to be that they're not always going to be in there and you have to keep checking every day. But again, another advantage is the shipping time. You get it in 3 to 4 days versus having to wait maybe a month or two if you go directly from Apple buying a new product because they have to build it out and configure it and ship it to you. That's about a month wait time right now versus a couple days on refurbished. All right, so let's wrap this up. So overall, I had a great experience with it. Are these new units or not? I would say no, because obviously we do see some hiccups from time to time, but they're so close to new. I think Apple sells some of these refurbished things to other people. If they're not meeting the grade that they have, like super high grade A, they'll send them to other companies that resell these things so they won't sell them directly. So you're pretty confident you have the good Apple system if you buy from them. You also know you have the support if something goes wrong. They'll give you kind of a refund or they'll give you a new one right away. That's another number two. So overall, I would say yes, this is a good idea. Always, if you want to go ahead and get it from Apple, go ahead and buy it from Apple Refurbished Store. Unfortunately, not everyone has access to it. Overall, it's just one of the best experiences of buying something that I had refurbished. A lot of times you buy them from other manufacturers and they're not as in pristine condition. Anyways, let's wrap it up. If you guys can support the channel, I just want to show you what's available out here. What do you get for the money on Apple Refurbished? Let me know what you think. Is this worth it? Would you buy it? Let me know your examples if you've had issues with them or not. Help the community out. That's what this is all about. Also subscribe and like if you can. It helps me grow the channel. Otherwise, I can't make more of these. We'll talk to everybody soon. At the end of the day, I'm happy. Base model iMac. It's going to be sitting here as a staple now for my videos. Peace.